So continuing out, we have two tough series in the Eastern Conference. Two series between the defending NBA champions Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics, and a 2-2 series along at the time of this recording between the number one seed in the East, the Miami Heat, and the Philadelphia 76ers. Now that the Sixers have gotten Joel Embiid back, do they have a realistic shot at taking out Miami? And can the Milwaukee Bucks win this series against Boston without their second best player in Chris Middleton? What do you guys think?
Well, I'll let you go and start with this one, King.
Yes and yes. So Sixers versus the Heat, yeah. You know what I mean? The fact that the series is tied 2-2, I'll let that speak for itself. Yeah. I don't have any dogs in that fight, but I mean, you count the Sixers or the Heat at this point out at your own risk. As far as the Bucks versus I mean, as long as they got the Greek freak down there, they got, they got a chance. I mean, Middleton, I don't know. Yeah, they got a chance. It's less likely now, but they got a chance. You know what I mean? Especially, like, let's admit it, like, Tatum's performance in the game 3 wasn't, you know what I mean? So if he's going to be inconsistent, then yeah, the Bucks have a chance.
I feel like the
and I like Tatum, by the way.
Jason Tatum.
But Jason Tatum. But I didn't like his performance in game 3. Like, what was he, like 15? Like, missed 15 out of 19. Like,
I think that correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure one of you will, but I feel like the Bucks have more scoring options because they still have Holiday. Smart is not the type of shooter that is going to give you, that's going to be a threat that in that regard. You know what I mean? So, when you have, after Horford as your third option, and, after Tatum and Brown, how much shooting is going to match up with Holiday and Antetokounmpo and, at this point, even Bobby Portis. I mean, I just feel like they have more offensive weapons that could at least stretch it to a 7. Whereas, the Boston Celtics really, their calling card really is defense at this point. So if they can stop that, that's fine. But if you're trying to get into a shootout, I don't think that's going to be in their favor.
Yeah. I think with the Bucks, they have the best player right now on the planet, Giannis. So anything is possible with them, and they have championship pedigree. So they've been there. They've done that before. My only concern with the Bucks about them winning the series without Chris Middleton is that they got to be able to find another scorer, another 20-plus per night reliable scorer outside of Giannis. I mean, Giannis can't do it. I mean, he can do everything, but you shouldn't rely on him to do every single thing. I mean, I think it was game 3. He had to drop 40-plus points just for them to win by a couple points. And that's when Jason Tatum had an awful game. Jaylen Brown wasn't knocking down all the shots. So that was very, very eye-concerning for me. In game 4, which they lost, Al Horford decided to go berserk after Giannis baptized him. And then Horford returned the other favor at the other end and baptized him too. Drops a playoff career high at 30 points. And you're looking at the box score game 4, there was only about 4 people in double digits. Grayson Allen, who had like 24 against Chicago last series, and Kyle doesn't like Grayson Allen, but he gave you 7 points, 3 of 7 shooting. You look at Bobby Portis, who you just mentioned. He was single digits in scoring, and he played about 15 minutes, so he only had 4 points. George Hill only had 5 points. So Bobby Portis, who's a 6th man on that team, he's going to have to contribute in the scoring department and at least be a 15, 20 point a night scorer that he's capable of being without Middleton services. Same thing with,
How about
Lopez?
Lopez.
Brook Lopez. Lopez Lopez, he had a solid game. He had 17, but I think he needs to bring that up to about 20, 25. Kind of, he needs to have those flashbacks of Brook Lopez from the Nets because he was the number one option in the Nets a few years ago. So we need to see that Brook Lopez. So that's just my only concern. Sometimes watching this team play, their offense, they get Giannis too centric. And it's just like, all right, Giannis, go one-on-one. And you can't use the wall logic anymore because now he's developed passing to his game. So he'll dish out the 3-point shooters. But the thing is, they got to make the shot. And when they're not making the shot, you just like, well, damn, that gives the team a fast break option. And Boston got those young guns and Brown, Smart, and Tatum, and they're just gonna outrun you in points in the paint and fast break points out the gym. So that's my really only concern with the Bucks. I think, like I said, championship tested. They have championship DNA. They have the best player in the world right now playing at an extremely high level. I will never ever count out the Bucks to win, but they got to change some things up. Going with the Sixers and the Heat, Embiid obviously is not at 100% with that fracture in his face and that torn ligament in his wrist, but I believe his presence alone out there, makes such a huge difference because he has to attract so much of the defense's attention. You know, last 2 games, 24 points, 11 rebounds. He had a double-double in game 3, and game 4 he had 17-5. But James Harden finally decided to wake up and drop 31. You know, kind of flashbacks to Houston, James Harden. That was because of the attention that Embiid was drawing. And Embiid gives you so much defense gives you so much on the defensive end. It opens up James Harden to kind of facilitate and operate more. And Maxi's starting to get it going too. Tobias Harris has been having a really good playoffs this year. Not a lot of people talking about him. So I feel like Embiid's presence alone opens the floor more for Sixers players to operate because you got to pay attention to the big man down below. And sometimes Adebayo's going to need some help in the post. And then that leaves a 3-point shooter or somebody kick and drive. So I feel like they do have a chance, but I'm still picking with Miami in 7. I think it'll go all the way 7. And between Boston and Milwaukee, I think Bucks will win in 7 as well too. So I think I see both series going 7.
And with the Bucks coming out of the East?
Yeah, still Bucks coming out of the East. I think at the time, if they go to the finals, Eastern Conference Finals, hopefully Middleton will be back by then because that'll be epic showdown, Heat Bucks. But yeah, I have the Bucks still coming out the East.
I've always felt like these lopsided teams don't go all the way to the finals. You know what I mean? Let alone win. You know, it's like you're saying, like when you start relying, because when you were talking about the Bucks just now, you could have been talking about Dallas. You know, like, and that's why I don't think the Dallas beats the Suns, for example. You know what I mean? It's too well rounded. I mean, everybody's like, you know, when Chris Paul went down, you know, in Phoenix, it was like, oh, the team's done, or they're going to slow down now, and they picked up steam. You know what I mean? Because Phoenix is a balanced, you know, well-rounded team. I think those are always the better bets for winning championships. That's an opinion, though.
No, I agree. I mean, you know, even Jason Kidd, when he got hired, one of the things he said, I know it was kind of joking. He says, you know, just get the ball to Luka. You know, that was his play. That was on his clipboard. So, you know, there's not a whole lot of creativity there when Luka's there. Plus, I think he would cry a lot if he didn't get the ball in his hands all the time. So,
until he gets
a shot at Luka. Hold on, we're not gonna blow past that.
But I agree. I agree with him. Yeah, I think, you know what I mean. Like, he would be like, why am I not getting the ball? Like, but you.
Oh my God!
But shots being thrown here.
But if he goes down, where's Dallas?
I mean,
answers that question. He wants the ball all the time. He plays down low a lot.
Hold on. When Dallas, when he did go down the first series, I believe he missed like 3 games. Jalen Brunson and the rest of them did carry the load to beat a very, very talented Utah team. So, yeah, I mean, even you could say what you want about Utah. There's been some rumblings about them not being on the same page. Rudy Gobert wants out.
You've said that.
No,
to be fair.
If you literally go online with the reports, there's been saying like they want out. So
It's
You
true.
know, but still, Utah, what they were number 4 seed in the Western Conference. That's still a very, competent team.
But Utah is not Golden State. Utah is not the Sun. You could get, you know what I mean, get off against Utah when you're not getting off against Phoenix or Golden State or Milwaukee or the Celtics. You know what I mean? Like, there's the 1A teams and then the 1B. You know, if you want to put it like that, you can cobble together a series against Utah. If he goes down against the Suns, their series is over. Yeah. And never mind, even if they win, who's waiting? Golden State. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, it's all on him. I don't know. I'm beating that dead horse here, but I just don't like lopsided teams like that. I don't think they ever really work out. Yeah.
One way or another, something gets exposed when it's not well balanced.
Yeah. I agree. The rest of the team did step up against Utah, but again, that was Utah. You know what I mean? I'm no disrespect, but I mean,
no disrespect to Utah.
Yeah, Utah. I mean, well, they're gone. They're on vacation now.
They're going fishing.
Yeah.
They with us watching the playoffs from home on TNT and ESPN.
Nope. No Disney World.
No Disney World.
Going to Disneyland. All right.